In this video, I'm going to talk about something that nobody warns you about. You won't find it mentioned in any of the forums, you won't find it mentioned in any of the guides, but it's a real serious issue that could affect your time here if you come to live in Spain, or to be honest, probably in any foreign country. Particularly in the first, I would say 3 months, it's something that could affect you badly. So I thought it might be worthwhile just to knock up a wee video to give you a bit of a heads up. And it might just help you if you're beginning to think about moving or you're ready to move to Spain. So keep this in mind. So, what's this magical, unwritten thing? Well, I'll tell you what it is. And it might seem, fairly obvious, but you definitely don't think about it during all your planning. You're so tied up with sorting out your visa and jumping back and forward to the consulate and maybe selling a house and getting all your goods packed. You're so busy arranging all of that that this is probably the furthest thing from your mind. And I know you're dying to know what it is, and I hate people that do this in videos, but I'm just trying to build the suspense, so hopefully it's working. So I'm going to tell you what that thing is. An obvious thing, I know, but when you arrive in Spain or in any foreign country, see, once you get in and you've sorted out where you're going to live, you've moved in, the stark realisation hits you that you don't know anybody. And more importantly, nobody knows you. And when we first came over here, after the first 3 months, we were literally driving each other up the wall. Because, when you're married to someone, we'd been married 40 years when we moved to Spain. But in 40 years of marriage, your work takes over a huge part of your life. So inevitably you're spending 8 to 10 hours a day working. And in my case, sometimes working away for 4 or 5 nights on end every week. So, although you've been married all those years, the only time you've really spent together tends to be on holidays. And now your life has become one huge permanent holiday. And you're with each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that's quite an adjustment to make at first. And nobody plans for it and nobody tells you how to do it. And after the 3 months, we realised that we didn't know anybody. And unfortunately, the apartment that we were staying in, it was a lovely little apartment, but it was quite a bit outside the town. And most of the apartments were holiday apartments. So we arrived in January and there was hardly anybody there. I'm just showing you a quick shot of the beach behind me there. Look at that. We're into, I think it's the 21st of October now. And people are on the beach. It's a fantastic day for the beach. So so sorry, I digress. So we realised we didn't know anyone, nobody knew us. And what made it worse was there wasn't really any bars or restaurants near where we were staying. We subsequently found out there was one of these chiringuitos that was through the motorway underpass in a little urbanisation called Lomas del Rami. And it turned out to be a nice little chiringuito, but we didn't know about that. So anytime we wanted to go anywhere, we ended up driving into the town, dumped the car, trying to get a taxi back. And at night time in Los Alcatres, taxis can be, let's say, challenging at best. They're few and far between. So inevitably we end up walking back. We found that after you'd been out for a few beers, walking back, which would probably take 40 minutes walking down, it could take you almost twice that walking back to get back at night. So it was a bit of a challenge, but the biggest problem we had was that we didn't know anyone and nobody knew us, and it was difficult to try and reach out to people that you don't know. So I joined a few Facebook groups, and I put a little post up just putting a picture up saying that we were looking to meet people. All sounds a bit dodgy and a bit dating site, but it wasn't like that. It's simply that it was the only way I could think of that we could meet folk. And thankfully, you know, we had some lovely people replied. We went out, we met with them, they introduced the other people. And, you know, we managed to sort of break through that difficult time of not knowing anyone. I'm just down by the marina here at Campo Verde. No, it's not Campo Verde, Duncan, it's Campo Amor. You'll see behind me here, just all the boats. Now, the hardest part of that is that you're a stranger. You don't know anyone and nobody knows you. And inevitably what you find is that people have already sorted out their circle of friends. And you know, and the reality is that most people that come to Spain are, you know, mid-50s upwards, 60 years olds upwards. So, you know, they've had a lifetime of making friends back home. The ones that have been here a while already have their friends here. And the harsh reality is that, you know, whilst we get on with everyone, we're very lucky. The people we've met have been great. But you do look around you and you do see groups of people who kind of keep themselves to themselves and they don't really let anybody else in. And you know, that can be challenging. It can make you feel like you're a bit of an outsider, and trying to break into a circle of friends that are already really friendly with each other and have had, you know, a fairly long relationship with each other, that's really difficult. So you have to work at it. It doesn't come naturally. And if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't get out there to meet people, I can almost guarantee your time living in Spain is going to be awful, because it doesn't matter how much you love each other or how much you've spent time together. When all you've got is each other, that's really tough to do all day, every day for the rest of your life. And then, you know, the other sad thing to consider is that there's going to be a time when, if you're still living in Spain, one of you is going to pass away. And the last thing you want is for the other one to be left on their own with no real support structure or friends in place to help them through. And we know families will jump on planes and stuff like that to help you, but you really need to go out there and make some friends to make sure that your life in Spain is really good while you're here. And then sadly, when one of you go, the other one can choose to stay if they want to stay, or go back to the UK or wherever your home country is. So I just wanted to have a quick chat about that as I went a wee walk. The importance of, you know, putting yourself out there, getting to know people, breaking into friends, you know, joining coffee morning groups and friendship groups, or doing whatever you need to do to make sure that you're not just stuck, both of you, on your own all the time, because that will potentially wreck your time in Spain here. So anyway, I hope you found that useful. I just try and, these things come into my mind and I try and give you little tips as I think of them. So this one is really important. Put yourself out there, make some friends, get to know people and work at it. And you will meet some people you don't like. That's just the same in life. You know, not everyone likes everyone. And you might meet some people where they don't like you, but do you know what? Just shake it off and move on. But please do your best to make some friends, because your life is much better with them. So anyway, that's enough of that. If you like this video, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, it's completely free. It just helps the channel grow. And on the channel I've got a mix of advice about living in Spain, my experiences of living in Spain, and some how-to guides about visas and some of the other bits and bobs that you might find useful. So keep watching, please subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Hasta luego.